Happy Monday, everyone. So, today I want to talk to you about how I became a vegetarian and an occasional vegan. And I want to admit that it really wasn't that deep and it really wasn't that spiritual. And it doesn't mean that I wasn't spiritually guided at some point, but it just isn't what I think some people's journey is. And so I'll kind of give you how it all happened piece by piece. So the first thing I took out was beef and pork. I I just didn't have a taste for beef and pork. I never really enjoyed beef and pork, even though I did have some dishes I enjoyed, like beef stew and spaghetti and meat sauce. That's actually it. Those are my beef and pork things that I enjoyed. And so taking them out really wasn't that difficult, but and pork, of course, bacon was the thing that I absolutely loved, and bacon was the hardest thing to let go. Out of everything that I let go, bacon was the hardest. And but that was the first thing I let go, and that was a long time ago. That was just the first like dietary transition that I made from the regular diet that I grew up with. And letting that go, it was just easy. It wasn't even a thought. I made the decision just because I said, you know what, I don't really even like this, so why am I going to eat it? And so that was it, took it out. Then from there, I was on my own. And now I am having to pay my bills and I'm also having to buy food for myself. I've realized that meat was expensive. And so I started to be like, gosh, how am I going to afford this food, you know? And I wasn't going to ask anybody. I was just trying to figure it out. Well, I was surrounded by vegetarians and vegans at the time, and we kept on having these potlucks. In those potlucks, I started to learn how to make vegetarian food because all I was bringing was a French bread or a bottle of wine. That was all I had to offer to the situation because I really didn't know what to do. Um, but eventually learning and learning, like I'll ask, okay, well, how'd you make this? How'd you make that? And I started to see how you can make a whole meal without meat. Well, once I figured that out, I let go of the meat. I remember I took like 1 year of like studying. And then finally I was like, good, I'm gone. I'm done with the meat. And I stopped buying meat. Now, it didn't mean that I completely stopped eating it. I just stopped buying it. I completely stopped eating chicken and turkey, but with fish, if someone bought me a piece of fish, I was going to eat it. But I was not spending my money on fish. Or if you made me some fish, I was going to eat it. So that was kind of like my rule. Then the next transition was that I took out um, all non-white flesh fish. So I would only eat white flesh fish. So that was another little restriction that I made. That was because somewhere I read it was supposed to be healthy and that, the whole bottom feeders, shrimp and all those are the roaches of the sea. And I was like, oh, that's gross. So I'm just going to eat this kind of fish. And I wasn't going to eat a fish that ate the bottom feeders. All right, so that was how that transition happened. So now I'm eating a particular kind of fish. It's good. I'm happy. And remember, I'm not buying it. It's only if it's given to me. And then I asked, is this kind of fish? And I knew what it was. I'm like, okay, I can eat that. All right. Then in that transition, I got sick. So eventually I got sick. I had some fish concoction. I had projectile vomiting. And that was so traumatic that I decided I'm not eating that anymore. And so that's how I took fish out. All right. Now, over this time of transition, each transition, the way that I was really, really able to do it, like the secret to the trick of like how did you really let that stuff go just by saying no to it? No, I actually went and sought out the best of the best. So with beef, remember I mentioned I had two beef dishes that I like, but there was one beef dish that I forgot that I absolutely loved, and those were beef franks. And I grew up not eating pork hot dogs. We ate kosher beef franks, and that really is like was one of my favorite foods growing up. Like I wanted beef frank with sauerkraut and mustard. Like spicy brown mustard. That was how it had to be done. That's what I wanted. So one time and so I knew in order to kind of let go of that feeling, one time I had to have the best of the best. So I was at the mayor's house, and there they were. You could tell the top quality, everything was perfect. I mean, I examined the ingredients. I was like, oh wow. I said, you better eat these hot dogs. So I had 2 hot dogs that day after not eating beef for probably like years, 5 or 6 years. And I didn't get sick. I was perfectly fine. I was perfectly content. And after eating those hot dogs, I knew I never had to eat another piece of beef ever again in my life. I was so content. I was like, this has fulfilled everything I needed. Then how did I do it with chicken? Because turkey I never cared for. But chicken, oh, I did like fried turkey. So I did have a fried turkey. I had a fried turkey situation. And I remember that was the last time I had fried turkey. I was like, oh, that's perfect. And I didn't eat to have turkey ever again in my life. With chicken, it was chicken wings. I went to my favorite chicken wing spot, had the best turkey and nuclear glazed wings. And I never had to have that again. All right. Then to get rid of the fish situation, luckily, actually, a little bit before I had the volatile situation, it's actually pretty short. It was a short period of time. I had the best fish ever. I mean, the flavors, everything. And it was in a place that was kind of like, you're probably never going to be in this place ever again in your life. And it was so delicious. And so I remember actually having that piece of fish. I had that feeling again, that feeling of like, you never have to have fish again, because I had fulfilled the best of the best. What would be the best of the best to me? So what I'm saying is that's really how I did it. I would achieve the best of the best of whatever it is. And once I got that, I had no desire for that thing that I was letting go in the first place. So that might give you guys a big hint in life. Apply it as you will, but that's really how I became a vegetarian and the occasional vegan. I still haven't had the best ice cream. So until I have the best ice cream, there's no way I'm going to be able to become a vegan, because I can let go of eggs very easily. But until I have the best of the best ice